Today we're diving deep into a feeling I bet you know all too well, that strange, unsettling sense that you're just living life on autopilot. We're going to pull back the curtain on the powerful hidden system in your brain that's running the show, and more importantly, what the science says about how you can actually grab the steering wheel again.
Let's just start there, with that really provocative idea. I mean, we all love the idea of free will, right? That we're in conscious control of our choices. But what if I told you that for almost half of your entire day, your conscious mind is basically clocked out? While you're sitting there thinking you're steering, a much older, more primitive system is actually the one driving the car.
You know what I'm talking about. You pull into your driveway, you kill the engine, and this weird, cold feeling just washes over you. You don't remember the last 10 minutes. You don't remember that turn or that stoplight. It feels like you just teleported home. That experience, that common, kind of disorienting feeling, it's not you being forgetful. It's a perfect window into this powerful system running in the background, a system designed to make you a ghost in your own machine.
Yeah, what you're experiencing is actually a biological feature, not a bug. It's a process called automaticity. And when it kicks in, it's basically like a silent, bloodless coup happening inside your own head. We can call it the subcortical coup, where a faster, way more efficient, and much older part of your brain just quietly takes control from your conscious mind. It's a total subconscious takeover, and it's all in the name of efficiency.
Okay, so let's break this down. At the very heart of this whole internal conflict, you've basically got two competing CEOs. Up in the fancy penthouse office, you have your prefrontal cortex, the PFC. This is the conscious you. It's the part that thinks and plans and sets big goals. It's brilliant, but it is a massive energy hog. Then, down in the ruthlessly efficient basement, you've got the basal ganglia. This is the automatic ghost. It doesn't think, it doesn't plan, it just does. It runs habits, it does repetitive stuff, and it sips energy. Pretty much your entire daily life is just a power struggle between the penthouse and the basement.
And this isn't just about long, boring drives home. Not even close. Some really rigorous studies have shown that a staggering 45%, we're talking nearly half, of everything you do all day long is not a product of conscious choice. It's just a script being run by that ghost in the machine. From how you tie your shoes to that twitchy habit of reaching for your phone the second you feel bored, almost half of your life is just an echo of things you've done before.
So this obviously raises a huge question, right? Why? Why would our brains evolve to basically make us unconscious for half of our own lives? It seems kind of crazy. But the answer, like with most things in biology, boils down to one simple, brutal fact: survival through efficiency. You see, your prefrontal cortex, that thoughtful, analytical, goal-setting part of you, it's a biological luxury item. It is a gas guzzler. It burns through glucose and oxygen at a rate that is just completely unsustainable for a full day. Seriously, if you had to consciously think through every single tiny action, how to walk, how to type, how to brush your teeth, your brain would have a total metabolic crash before lunchtime. So to stop that from happening, your brain has this brilliant strategy: outsource as much as possible to the low-energy basement system. And this gets us to the absolute core operating principle of your brain: cognitive load management. You have to understand your brain is an energy miser. It is relentlessly, almost obsessively looking for ways to save its resources. So every single time you repeat an action, your brain sees an opportunity to offload that task, to turn a conscious, high-energy effort into an unconscious, low-energy habit. It's not trying to make your life boring, it's just trying to keep you alive.
So it's really crucial to get what your brain actually prioritizes. First up, survival primacy. The automatic system, the basal ganglia, is ancient. It's what let our ancestors jump away from a snake without having to stop and think about it. It's built for speed. Second, and this is so important, is survivable efficiency. Your brain has no moral compass. It does not care if a habit is good for you or bad for you. It only cares if it's energy efficient. And that's why you can decide consciously, I'm going to be super productive, but your hand just automatically reaches for your phone. That doom scrolling habit is simply a more efficient, well-traveled road in your brain than the new, difficult path of focused work.
Okay, so if our brain is always trying to put us on autopilot, how does it actually do it? How does a difficult, conscious action get totally transformed into a thoughtless, automatic habit? Well, the process is pretty fascinating. It's a four-stage system we can think of as the neural compiling loop.
Probably the best way to think about this is to imagine your basal ganglia as a little software engineer living in your head. Its one and only job is to just watch what you do, all day long. And when it spots a pattern, a certain cue, followed by a certain routine, it writes a little piece of code, a macro,
It's a one-click script that can run that entire routine automatically the next time without ever having to bother you for permission.
Okay, let's walk through this loop. Stage 1 is the novelty peak. Remember the very first time you tried to drive a car? Every single action needed intense focus. Your PFC was at 100%. It was totally exhausting, right? That's stage 1. Then comes stage 2, the chunking phase. After you practiced for a while, your brain started to group, or chunk, those little actions together. Check mirror, signal, turn wheel, just becomes one fluid block of code. Then you hit stage 3, the synaptic handover. This is the coup. Once the code is written and tested, your conscious PFC just gives up control. It hands the whole macro over to the basal ganglia in the basement. And finally, you get to stage 4, execution blindness. Years later, you can drive home perfectly, but because the basal ganglia is running the show, the conscious, memory recording part of your brain is literally turned off to save power. You aren't absent-minded, you're just experiencing the final, successful stage of your brain's efficiency program.
Now, I know this might all sound a little depressing, like we're just puppets of our own neurology, but here is the hopeful part. Because we understand this system, we can consciously intervene. We can actually hack the loop. You can intentionally pull yourself out of that automatic, subcortical execution and force your PFC to wake up and re-engage.
So, what's the secret? How do you fight back against a system that's designed for maximum efficiency? Well, you have to do the one thing your brain absolutely hates. You have to make the habit expensive again. The key is to introduce novelty, to introduce friction, to interrupt the process. You have to make that automatic path just a little bit harder than the conscious one, forcing that high-energy PFC to wake up and get back in the driver's seat.
And you can do this with some really simple systematic tricks. First one, name your macro. The next time you find yourself reaching for your phone to mindlessly scroll, just say it out loud. I am now opening my phone to scroll. Just verbalizing it forces your PFC to engage and it breaks the spell. Second, scramble your environment. Your autopilot loves environmental cues, so if your habit is to grab a snack every time you go to the kitchen, move the snacks. It creates novelty, and the autopilot doesn't have a script for that. Third, use the 5-second gap. When you feel that urge, that cue for an old habit, just pause, count to 5. That little neural interruption is often enough to break the automatic chain reaction. And finally, write new if/then code. You can manually program a better script. For example, if I feel stressed, then I will take 3 deep breaths. You are consciously writing better code for your brain to run.
So let's bring this all together. When you understand this stuff, it leads to a completely new idea of what personal agency and self-control even are. It's not about having more willpower or just being a better person. It's about being a better brain mechanic.
You know, understanding this system should feel incredibly liberating. You aren't lazy. You aren't undisciplined. You're just biologically efficient. Your bad habits aren't a reflection of your character. They are just the most well-rehearsed energy-saving scripts that your brain has on file. They're just old lines of code, probably written years ago without you even noticing, that are still running today. But you are not the script. You're the programmer who just forgot you have access to the code.
And this really is the central paradox of being human, isn't it? The exact same mechanism that was designed to keep you safe and to conserve your energy can, if you let it run totally unchecked, make you obsolete. It can make you a stranger in your own daily life, just a passenger watching your own existence go by through window, wondering who's actually steering. Your brain's obsession with efficiency can literally come at the cost of your own lived experience.
So this leaves us with one final provocative thought. The path to becoming the driver again, it doesn't start with some huge monumental act of willpower. It starts with one small, quiet, but profoundly powerful act. The act of just noticing. Of asking yourself in any given moment, what script is running right now, and am I the one who wrote it? Because gaining back control of the machine starts with simply remembering that you are the ghost in the machine, not a ghost that's controlled by it.